Surat, India, a city known for polishing the world's diamonds, has just cut a new kind of gem. Rocket, a 16-week-old AI startup, has raised $15 million in seed funding, co-led by Accel and Salesforce Ventures, with Together Fund joining the round. It is India's first true vibe coding platform, an AI system that turns a plain English idea into a fully production ready app, not just a quick prototype. Most so called vibe coding tools create a dazzling demo and fall apart once real users arrive. Some of the platforms have been covered by us extensively here on Front Page and debunked, be it Replete, Cursor, Lovable, and others. Interestingly, they were all from the West. Now we have an Indian alternative called Rocket, and Rocket is different. The company calls that the day two problem, which is the moment after the first wow, when bugs, brittle code, and endless rework set in. Rocket's answer is vibe solutioning. It blends the speed of natural language prompts with the discipline of production engineering. Instead of a single page mockup, Rocket delivers a clean code base with authentication, payments, integrations, and mobile ready user interface that can be deployed to GitHub or published directly with a custom domain. This isn't a drag and drop toy. Rocket fuses Anthropic, OpenAI, and Google Gemini models with its own proprietary deep learning systems trained on years of data from the founders. Previous developer tool venture, Device, generating the first build takes about, well, 25 minutes, which is slower than rivals like Lovable or Cursor, but the result is enterprise grade code that Fortune 100 teams are already piloting in production. Rocket launched its beta in June 2025, and in barely 4 months, it has its wonderful numbers, which I'm just going to tell you. 400,000 plus users in 180 countries, including 10,000 plus paying subscribers. Built over 500,000 production ready apps. Reached $4.5 million in annual recurring revenue with an ambitious target of $20 to $25 million by year end and $60 to $70 million by June 2026. The United States already contributes 26% of revenue, Europe about 15 to 20%, and India roughly 10%. To serve this global base, Rocket is opening a new headquarters in Palo Alto, while its core engineering team remains in Surat, proving world-class deep tech can be built from Silicon Valley or Bengaluru. Gross margins stand at 50 to 55%, and the company expects to reach 60 to 70% as it scales. Co-founder and CEO Vishal Virani, a first-generation engineer, he faced early doubts. Investors questioned whether a small team from Surat without Ivy League pedigrees could build a global product. They never said it directly, end quote, he recalls. But every pitch carried the same pause. Can you really build global? Virani and his team turned that doubt into drive. Working 15-hour days, they built Rocket in silence. No launch parties, no hype, until traction spoke louder than geography. Stay tuned till the end because there is a wonderful surprise that we have for all of you. Continuing with Rocket's takeoff and rise, Rocket's rise lands just as India's IT minister, Ashwini Vaishnav, publicly ditched foreign software for Zoho, urging citizens to embrace Swadeshi technology. Rocket embodies that call. An Indian product designed for a global market, proving that India can export not just IT services, but cutting edge AI platforms. It also arrives as AI reshapes software economics by eliminating the gap between intent and production. Rocket is challenging the very need for large engineering teams. The next decade of app development may belong as much to prompt designers as to traditional coders. The seed round will accelerate proprietary model development to reduce dependence on third party LLMs. A full agentic system that can research markets, plan product roadmaps, and handle iterative updates, potentially replacing layers of product management. Expansion of engineering and product teams in India and the United States, with headcount expected to double within 12 months. Rocket's North Star: one prompt, one production grade application. Like promised, well, here's that time and here's that wonderful surprise. Joining us is Vishal Virani, co founder and CEO of Rocket. Vishal is a first generation engineer from Surat and a former founder of Device. Vishal is on a mission to make every imagination production ready, proving that world class AI innovation can be built in India and scaled across the globe. Well, for the first time on Front Page, a big warm welcome to Vishal Virani. How are you doing, Vishal?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing much better now. Super happy to actually have you on the show with us. Congrats on the funding and congrats on the early milestones. And I must say this, there are lots more to come in the coming days. I know it is early, but the numbers are looking quite staggering, Vishal.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, before we take off with the rocket story, how does it feel to be live with us on Front Page after this beautiful, wonderful achievement?
To be honest, I always believe in journey. So definitely we are super excited for this on, but this is just in beginning. We are aiming for a
Nice.
big things where we can show the world like, okay, what we can build it from India. And that's why we are super excited. And what we are enjoying is the like journey, that struggle, and the kind of an energy that team is having to achieve this milestone. So it's like always great to see this thing in reality, because it's always a dream of a founder who is working from a tier 2 city which is not known for the tech. And when you say like, okay, you are going to build a native AI company from India, and that too from a tier 2 city, it's always like a laughing moment from lots of people. But
Sure.
now it's become reality, and like feeling so happy.
That is so nice and that's so wonderful to hear, Vishal. So I just want to deep dive right into it. From device to rocket, what pain points convinced you that the world needed vibe solutioning instead of quick prototypes? And how did those lessons shape Rocket's architecture?
A great question, by the way. So when we started Device, it was like Figma to code platform, and it was like pre LLM era. We had like very bold vision of automating the entire software development lifecycle. But at that time, before the LLM, it was a very hard to solve problem. So we started with like one feature of Figma to code, and eventually, with the advancement of LLM, we realized like, okay, this is not the only thing that world needs. Actually, we can solve end to end. And when we talk about the vibe solutioning and the day two problem, actually it's not about just generating the code. It's about the maintaining the code in the production. It's about like
Hmm.
solving end to end. So we know like worlds builds hundreds and thousands of applications every day, but how many successful applications are there? How
Sure.
many quality applications are there? Even in the age of AI, we are still struggling with a broken systems, a very bad UI. There is no
Hmm.
intuitiveness, there is no delightfulness. And
Hmm.
that's where we think like, okay, if we put our knowledge and if our learning from device in the right way with the power of an LLM, we can solve this problem. And that's why it's not just coding, but it's like solving the real problem of day two, where if someone is building any product using Rocket, They
Mm-hmm.
should deliver the delightful experience to their end users. They should deliver the quality, secure code to their end users. And it's not just about delivering the code, but it's about like how they can grow with Rocket platform, how
Sure.
we can solve their product management problem, research problem, everything in a quality way. So the entire goal is like how we can remove all the mundane and repetitive work from users' life, and we can
Mm-hmm.
add the value. We can enhance the creativity with our platform is something that we realize with our device learning and the advancement of an LLM, and that's how we come up with the concept of vibe solutioning. And when we see our own result, when we started using Rocket at our for our own stuff, so we
Mm-hmm.
are building all internal tools and everything using our own product before
Mm-hmm.
even we ship it to the world. And that's where we realize like, okay, this is something which can help all the users who wants to build a dream digital product, but they either don't have the resources or they don't know the programming. uh, and with that thought, like we started with the vibe solutioning platform named Rocket from device. So it's ultimately a very hard learnings from like 3 to 4 years starting
Sure.
before the LLM and now landing on Rocket.
But the way I understand it, Vishal, is the fact that there is a vision to this entire endeavor, and the fact that you were able to embrace all of the learnings and do it and implement it, and it is definitely bearing its fruit. Quality versus speed. I'd mentioned that as far as Rocket is concerned. I just have to, of course, give you this little quote, which is as Salesforce Ventures Karthik Gupta puts it. They've shifted the focus from writing code faster to seamlessly translating ideas into complete production grade solutions. Rocket takes longer than rivals to generate an app, but promises code that holds up in production. This, in my head, is a big compliment. And the question is, how do you persuade Fortune 100 teams that this trade off is actually worth it?
So it's always about like quality and a kind of an apple to apple comparison. Definitely, we are taking a longer time than anyone else to generate our first result. But what we realize in like first 16 weeks of our journey is like user don't want the code in 3 minutes. What
Hmm.
they want is like a complete comprehensive solution where we can take off their cognitive load. Yeah, it was a very bold bet that we took because like generally when this kind of an things we need to build it from India, and particularly if we say like, okay, we will deliver the results in 25 minutes, where all the platform of the world is delivering it like in 1 minute to 3 minutes. It was a bold bet, but we were very certain about few things, and the kind of an philosophy that we are having is about like building serious application. We took a very bold bet, like, okay, we will take a time,
Mm-hmm.
we'll put our agentic system in a work in a way we can deliver the right results. And it's okay to give the results in like 20-25 minutes. There is nothing wrong in that. Yes, if and we were very particular, we were observing all the data, and we see like 90% of our users are ready to wait for a
Hmm.
25 minutes. And that's where we see, and when we talk to our users, they said like, okay, if I want to do this thing in any platform of the world, actually I'm spending like more than 4 to 5 days versus 25 minutes. So it's not about like first results, it's about
Elaborate
the
on that,
end result.
Vishal. Sorry, just elaborate on that. When you say 4 to 5 days versus 25 minutes on any other platform, it would be nice for a lot of our viewers to probably hear from you a real world example or maybe a use case for you to
Yeah.
shed light on that aspect.
Definitely. So let's say if you want to build, let me take a very simple example for
Sure.
the audience. If I want to build a chat application, same like in
Hmm.
WhatsApp, and if I'm putting a one sentence like, okay, give me a personalized chat application for my business, and that's where all other platform will give you one simple landing page or one simple dashboard screen or something like that, and then you need to understand the prompting, then you need to tweak it a lot, and you will constantly feed more and more prompt to achieve your end results. And
Hmm.
that's where you need to take all the cognitive load, you need to understand everything, you need to put more and more prompt, and that's where system will break and maybe few things
Hmm.
happen. And
Hmm.
that's how like people ended up spending like 3 to 4 days to achieve their
Sure.
end results.
Sure.
Versus in Rocket, when people feed like one sentence, give me a chat application for my, let's say, grocery business. we will do everything in behalf of user. We'll decide like what screens is required, what are the critical screens, what should be the elements in that particular thing, what should be the best layout, best design theme, what can be the best navigation, which generally user do not understand.
Sure.
If we want to democratize like entire way of building this application on internet, we should give that delightful experience, and that was like kind of a philosophy that we are having at Rocket. So ultimately, instead of taking giving that cognitive load to user, what we are doing is like doing that end-to-end research on behalf of users in the background. And in 25 minutes, when we'll give the result, it will be like
Hmm.
complete results where user don't need to put more and more prompt. So if you do the apple to apple comparison, our 25 minutes time may be equal to like 4 to 5 days of time in other platforms. And that's why I'm saying like user believe in the end results, not the first results. And that was a bold bet, but like kind of in data that we observe, we are very happy. Like we go out of box way to build this, and we can say like, okay, this is like first company who went in that direction and
Sure.
and getting a really good success.
I must say that that line, one line that you use, 4 to 5 days as compared to 25 minutes, I'm sure you would have used that as far as your pitch is concerned to the big companies, and I'm sure it worked because you said it very, very convincingly. And I'm pretty sure Rocket delivers as well. Which, of course, brings me to this: building global from Surat with a core team in Surat and a new Palo Alto headquarter. Question is, how do you balance an Indian identity with the demands of a fast scaling global user base? How are you tying those things up?
So to be honest, like in the world of AI, people don't care about like from where you belongs.
Okay.
It's all about like a quality of product, and still we are a Surat headquarter company. Definitely Palo Alto office is going to be a front face for the enterprises, but still we are going to be like a Surat headquarter company. And we are getting, so even I don't need to answer this question in a theoretical way because our data speaks on behalf of us.
Sure.
Users from
Nicely
180
put.
countries,
Nicely put.
100 users, paid users from 140 countries, like 26% users paying from US. Like we are having a large user base in Brazil, almost Europe, India, Indonesia, everywhere. So I don't think like people judge you on the base of your headquarter. And even when I wrote my post about a funding announcement, I said like, okay, zip code does not matter if you build the
Nice.
right product. If you are
But
definitely,
sorry,
people will
Vishal,
judge
just
you if you
one thing
put a
one thing came to mind. Sorry, but I would like for you to maybe answer this along with what you were just saying, because one thing came to mind. This is once you've delivered a product. What was it like prior to that? I mean, till the product was delivered, were there any inhibitions, or were there any these doubts that probably took place? Now, of course, the product is up and running and is delivering and doing it a brilliant job. But prior to that, does my question still stand?
definite. When I started Device, like I was very confident about like my team, who was working with me from long time, and we were like, when we see our own results, we were like, we knew it, like it's going to create a very big and long lasting impact on our users' mind. So it was never a doubt when we were building a product. Like, okay, will people judge us on the base of our headquarters? Definitely yes. You need to course correct yourself. So we will not rigid about it, but we will very excited and like confident about our product. So when we launch and when we got the early traction organically, we will realize like, okay, we don't need to worry about our headquarter or zip code, like where we are
Hmm.
based out of. And in fact, like that's a proud moment, and people took it very positively. Like, okay, because everyone is not belong to San Francisco when
Sure.
it comes to a user base. When a user in a Brazil, a farmer in a Brazil using a product, actually they feel more proud. Like, okay, this company is coming from somewhere which is not non-location, and they are delivering the right results. So as I said, like we are not rigid about our decision of building it from only Surat. If it went wrong in a wrong direction, maybe we change a strategy. But as I said, like we were very confident about like kind of product we were building. Like we can build it from Surat and we can put it on the global map. And yeah, that's how it's working. And that's my core philosophy from building my first venture, like building it from Surat for
Nicely
the
put.
world.
Nice, nice, Vishal. Of course, you're waving the Indian flag, and trust me, that person in Brazil will definitely know where Surat is after what you have done. And of course, it is the fact that you are another diamond coming out of Surat. So basically, the next one. the agentic future, you plan to build an AI system that can actually not only code but also research markets and manage product iterations. How far can AI go in replacing traditional product management?
A question that we are getting from day one, like, okay, will you replace people? To be honest, no. We are any system cannot replace the people from the system. It's always built for the empowering them to enhance their creativity. Still, worlds needs a stable and the delightful softwares, a creativity where we can solve the problem of world. And there are like millions of problems which needs to be fixed with the digital system, and people need it right now. So there is one thing, like if someone is not adapting AI, they will definitely get replaced.
Hmm.
But if someone is using AI and if they put the creativity in motion, this system will enhance like the entire experience and the way they are working. So ultimately, what AI will replace, it's not people, but a mediocre, mundane and repetitive work, a clerical work from people's lives. So ultimately, every time still we are complaining about a work-life balance. Like, okay, I need to work for 15 hours if I want to deliver
Hmm.
something good.
Hmm.
Why? It's not required. Like, okay, in a 8 hours of time, you can do 80 hours of work. So have your work life balance, enjoy your life, spend Saturday Sunday with your kids. And that's how like AI is going to improve your life. It's not going to replace you, but definitely you need to adapt it. This is a new thing. You cannot just stay away from it, and you cannot just say like, okay, if you will be in fear of getting replaced,
Hmm.
then definitely you will be replaced. But if you adapt it as a superpower, then you will able to put your creativity in picture, and you will able to create, so everyone can deliver the better experience to their end users, and that's what agentic system is going to do.
Nice. Vishal, what do you do to find that work life balance? Just a quick question. What do you do to go ahead and blow off your steam? What do you do to go ahead and find your creativity and passion?
So my co-founder Deepak always said this. We like personally at Rocket, we believe we don't need a work-life balance. What we require is a work-life rhythm. We are
Okay.
enjoying our work. We are enjoying the kind of an impact that we are creating in the world from Surat, and that's where we find our rhythm. And actually, we always believe like, okay, how we can enjoy our rhythm, and that's how I work for like 15, 16 hours, and I enjoy that rhythm. So right
Now,
now
of
I
course, we're
cannot
in the
talk
middle
much
of
about a
Navratri.
balance.
So, are you spending time doing a little bit of dandiya?
To be honest, I'm in SF right now with
Okay.
my team, so
Okay.
I'm not able to get the time for that.
Okay.
But as I said, like that's the rhythm you need to figure it out in your life. This year, if I miss the dandiya, next year I will play it double. But right now, what is most important for Rocket is like delivering the right features where we can
Sure.
impact our users' life. We can help them to solve better, and that's where we are focusing at this in this year.
Trust me, the way Rocket is flying, we'll have a lot of India doing a little dandiya with you, with rocket shaped dandiyas. Trust me. Of course, we're going
I
into
think I
India's
think
with. Yeah.
I think India is better at building rockets. So this is one
Well
more.
said. Well said. So, well, India's Swadeshi moment, you have hit the perfect segue with national leaders urging adoption of homegrown platforms. You would have heard that, Vishal. Ashwini Vaishnav, the IT minister. Can Rocket become the flagship of India's next tech export wave and make vibe coding a household concept worldwide? No pressure, of course.
Yeah, see, it's not about. I don't have any doubt in that. The answer is like a pure yes. If we are able to build a UPI moment, we can build anything. That's like we are a great country and we can build a great product. And definitely, the kind of an like a youth that we are having, we can create this moment, and that's where everyone in India will able to build something which will create a very big moment for the world. And that's I truly believe. The simple answer is yes.
Wonderful. That's very encouraging. Before I let you go, Vishal, you obviously are aware of the fact that India has just cleared a 1.6 trillion rupees worth of a semiconductor project, and big AI players are actually scouting sites. We are all aware for gigawatt scale data sensors. So the question is, if the future of AI infrastructure is slowly gravitating towards India and in the near future is laid in India, do you see Rocket positioning itself as the made in India layer of intelligence that runs on top of that hardware?
We are already made in India. As I said, like proudly building it from Surat. So we are already made in India product, and yes, we are
In
going to be
terms of
made in
the
India in future.
ecosystem, in terms of the other people, in terms of the aspects of you encouraging and maybe sending out a message to all of those to join in this wonderful little wave?
Yes, obviously, and that's why when we got featured at Nasdaq, like I hold that Indian flag, like okay, India can
Nice.
build anything. Don't doubt yourself. Don't get it into pressure of like okay, you will not able to build it from India. It's all about the founders' will. If they think they can build it, and as I said, like if we are able to build UPI, then we can build anything. And like I encourage everyone to just think through it, like instead of just doubting and the questioning yourself, like just think how you can build it. It's all about like founders will, and if anyone has a will, they can build a made in India product. Doesn't matter
Wonderful.
it's a generative AI or the next generation LLMs. It can be possible.
Wonderful. Vishal, wishing you all of the best as always. And needless to say, onwards and upwards, especially in your case, since it's Rocket. Well, thank you so much. And that was Vishal who joined us, the co founder. And this is what, well, I guess I could understand from that very, very positive, encouraging milestone that Rocket has achieved from Surat to Silicon Valley, from prototypes to production. Rocket's story isn't just about building apps faster. It's actually about proving that India can build the very platforms the world will run on. In a moment when talent, infrastructure, and imagination are all in flux, the real vibe is this: innovation has no postcode, and the next global wave can just as easily rise from Surat as from San Francisco. And if tonight has shown us anything, it's that this rocket isn't just taking off, it's aimed straight at the future. Well, we'll take a short little break for right now, but we will be back with a story about a letter from the Karnataka CM that has put the IT corridor into focus. We will be back on front page right after this.